Hi everyone, I'm Jay,
I'm Colin.
and this is Star Wars Conversations. So, how's it going, dude?
Very well,
We're
Jay.
back again 2 weeks in a row. I mean, what's going on?
I know,
It's
and
just so
potentially
unusual.
next week we might be doing a special episode crossover when nothing's on, mightn't we?
That's right, we might be, yeah. So,
Yeah,
that's something to look out for. What will we do? We'll post it on their show and our show, right?
yeah, both feeds. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that could be an interesting one. I think that's going to be a solo one again, right? We're going to be
Solo
talking about solo
discussion. Yeah, so get
because
really into it. Yeah,
Daryl's just seen it. Is that right?
he was supposed to be seeing it on Thursday. Which is today.
Ah,
The day
okay,
we're
cool,
recording.
right.
So
So it's going to be quite fresh for him. I might try and
yeah.
get another viewing in then before that if I can.
I might try and see it for a second. I didn't go and see it last weekend.
Oh, you didn't? Did you see
No, I saw
Deadpool?
Deadpool 2. Yeah.
Did you like it?
I did. It was all right.
It's
Yeah,
cool. Did you stay for the after credit scene?
of course. That was brilliant. That was
Yeah,
best bit.
without no spoilers, but that was damn good, wasn't it?
That was
Yeah.
good.
Um, yeah, I might try and watch it again. I don't know. As you know, I'm fatherhood is imminent, so I
Yeah,
don't know
no.
what's going to happen. But if there is a time where I can get a quick viewing, and I might try and squeeze one in.
Well, there'll be plenty of time while the baby's becoming.
Mm-hmm.
Got to do something with the time, haven't you?
You're going to be in here for hours. I'll be back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it'd be good to get it fresh in the mind again, before we talk, if I can, because there's a lot of little things in that movie. Every time I watch it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that bit. That's a good bit, and then forget to talk about it. I did actually forget last week to tell everyone about my first screening,
Oh
and
yeah.
and and of course, I mentioned it at the beginning, so I'll just go over it quickly. So obviously, it came out. I couldn't go to the midnight screening, so I went to the 10 a.m. one. And unfortunately, we had a last minute midwife appointment, right? So I was like, I think we could get the movie done. I think we can get this done before midwife. So we're sitting there watching it, and of course, the stupid arseholes at the cinema put on like a ton of adverts before the movie, right? Like a ton,
do.
right?
About half an hour.
Which, by the way, I've paid. I don't need to be watching adverts. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh man, and the movie's going on, and then Andrew's like, oh, it shows me the time. She goes, oh, we've got to go, and I'm like, okay, I think we can make it in if we just leave 10 minutes, right? So we keep going, and it got to about 25 minutes before the end, and it's like, shit, we got to go. And so I didn't get the reveal. So then we leave the cinema, we go outside, we go down to the car, and get in the car, and then midwife calls to cancel, and I'm just like, oh, fuck's sake, man. Anyway, right, so like my internal rage is off the charts, but I'm holding it down, right? So I'm just like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do about it. Let's go. And the midwife, when she cancels, she goes, you know what? I'll come round to your house, so I'll be there in the next hour. Anyway, she doesn't come till like 4 in the afternoon, by which time I could have watched the movie twice.
Jay, that is terrible.
Yeah.
How dare
So,
they interfere with you watching Star Wars?
Of course, then I watched it again the next day, and I got to see the full version. So I've actually seen it 3.5 times.
Well, you're going to see it for a fourth.
Yeah. It hurt, man. It hurt me, believe me, because that's the first Star Wars film that I haven't seen at midnight, and then it's the first Star Wars film that I didn't see the whole way through as well. Like, what?
I know, it's not even the worst one.
No, it's not by far.
By far.
But
So,
go.
well, while we're talking about Solo, let me just quickly talk about Battlefront 2 Season 2 news.
Yeah. Okay.
Because obviously it's the solo season. So I think it was last week or maybe the week before the first part of a solo season came out, which was Lando Skiffguard appearance, Leia Bush appearance, and there was Jabba's Palace, and they also put the Starfighter Assault into arcade mode. So for people who don't like playing online multiplayer, you can now play Starfighter Assault.
Oh yeah, I heard about this. You just fight the bots, right? But can you do a co-op with your friends and be against the bots?
I think so.
I think you can, right? So. I read something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can, and you can do versus as well. So that's fun. So that means you can go straight and play as like the hero ships and stuff. Because what I've found is playing Starfighter Assault, I'm not good enough to play the hero ships. Or if I do get it, literally the game finishes killed. About 2 seconds later, and I get killed. Yeah, that's it.
But you know what? When you're chasing someone down and they've got the Falcon and you take them out, doesn't it feel great?
It does feel.
If they're in the Falcon or Slave 1 or something, you shoot them down. Yeah.
It feels better flying the Falcon.
I did actually get the Falcon once, and the first thing I did was crash it. I crashed into the side of a ship and died. Like I literally turned and died.
As soon as you get a hero ship, everyone goes after you. So it's just like... Anyway, so they had like a limited... not that super exciting thing, and also they created that new mode, Hero Showdown, which is a 2 versus 2 version of Heroes and Villains, which is actually quite fun to play. And that was mainly in the Jabba's Palace thing, which was a reuse of a map from the DLC from the first Battlefront 2015. Anyway, so they've just literally yesterday announced what the rest of season 2 is, and it comes out next Tuesday. Now, the interesting thing is, there's 2 things. One, obviously, there's the interest in what they've released, but they've done it 3 days or 2 days before EA Play.
Oh, yeah.
Which is basically got everyone saying, well, what is the big news they're going to release at EA Play about Battlefront 2? Ooh. Because also there's all these other Star Wars games that EA is supposed to be announcing.
Yeah, they've got the other one, haven't they? That they've
there's a load of speculation. So with what they did announce this time is that they've released 4 legendary hero skins, two different skins for Lando, 2 different skins for Han based on their appearances in the Solo film.
Yeah.
There's a Chewie new skin. They've released the Kessel mine map.
Oh, okay.
And so you'll be able to play that.
Can you play as the ugly Wookiee?
No. Oh. But you'll be able to play with different modes. You'll be able to play Blast, Heroes Showdown, and Extraction, which is a brand new mode for this game. You'll also be able to play Extraction on Jabba's Palace. So I'm really excited because Extraction was my favourite mode from the old Battlefront game.
How did that one work?
It was only available on the download, and it was basically what happens is there's a big cart thing, and you've got to get from one end of the map. If you're one team, you've got to defend it to get to the other end of the map.
Right.
And if you're the obviously aggressing team, and you've got to stop it before the time runs out. It's really good fun. Really good fun. So, and that's obviously going to work really well in the Kessel mine. Obviously. And they showed, the little trailer thing was pretty cool, and it all looks good. So that's exciting. But apart from that, there's not really much else to the season. So not that. Bit of a letdown.
Do you get all the characters? Like you get Han, you get Kira, you get Lando. Those guys. You don't.
Literally, all that's available is the skins for Lando, Han, and Chewie. But again, you have to buy them with credits or crystals.
Oh. And what about the different types of troopers? Like, you had the Mimban troopers and stuff like that. Oh, that's a disappointment.
Yeah, I mean, they really haven't. I mean, one map for a season, basically one brand new map, is pretty poor.
Because how cool would a mini game be on that train heist scene?
I know. What exactly what I'm saying? Oh, because I thought we would get
this Cloud Riders,
but I thought it would be based on the train heist, not on the. So I am a bit disappointed. Obviously, the community have been quite vocal about how rubbish they think Battlefront 2 is, and that it's gonna basically it's a dying game, and EA are giving up on it.
I said that,
but there is a lot of speculation that actually what they're going to announce at EA play is the Season 3 Clone Wars. Right. And there's been some real hints and talking about General Grievous and Obi-Wan being available. Now, like I say, a lot of people are cautiously getting excited about this.
Yeah.
If they announce it, great, but I just hope it's a bit more to it than just a couple of skins and maybe one map. It needs to be, because there's been hints that Geonosis is going to be the map.
Right.
If it isn't.
You see, like, things like that, those maps are it's just a standard map. But I think the train scene's a real missed opportunity.
No, I totally.
You've got like a
whole
moving part of the game. You know, you could be, you'd make it a smaller amount of players, but you could have like people playing as the heroes, you'd have people playing as the Cloud Riders, and then you have people playing as the Imperial Stormtroopers, that come up on top of the on top of the train. That'd be quite cool. Like, whoever wins, you take each other out. One of you's got to do this, the other one's got to try and steal, the other one's got to try and kill everyone.
Yeah.
That's
it would be cool.
Swoop bikes for one gang as well. There'd be so many elements to it. It could be an amazing bit of gameplay.
To be honest, I'm waiting until this EA Play announcement before I make a decision whether or not I think EA are just going to dump in this game or not. Because as I think I said the other week, there's a lot of speculation that with Battlefield due to come out later this year, that all of EA's resources are going into that, and that they've given up on this game and that kind of stuff.
That is one of their biggest money makers anyway, isn't it, Battlefield?
Exactly. So, basically, depending on the quality of what they announce at EA Play, will just, to me, give a really good indication whether or not they're just going to give it lip service for the rest of this game's lifetime. If they do, I'm not super bothered, because ultimately I enjoy the game we've got, but it just means that basically it'll be, soon it won't be worth playing online. So I just hope they beef up. It's really disappointing, because I thought there'd be more of the campaign story mode.
Yeah. I
thought we'd get more different things to do offline on the arcade. It's just that, to me, there's so much missing there.
I do wonder what the next one that they're looking to release is going to be like, because.
Well, you're going to find out on the weekend, mate, because they're definitely going to be talking about this open world game potentially. Yeah. There's been loads of different rumors about a couple of different games. So, I was listening to the Weekly Planet podcast this week, and they did an episode on Star Wars fatigue.
Yeah. And
they talked about all the different elements of Star Wars, what they've cheesed off with, what not. One of our biggest bugbears are the games. In the, in the old days when Lucasfilm ran things and did it all themselves, and we had so many different Star Wars games, different types of games all at once. Whereas since EA have got the contract, they're just putting out one or two games at a time, and all those crappy mobile games.
That's it. Oh,
and
God,
just,
I hate that stuff.
Just in the old days, you had all the different. You had Starfighter games, you had open world games.
Again, none of them had to tie into any kind of canon.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean? So, which they've said, haven't they, that these other, like the open world ones and that, will, have some, whatever happens is.
I think they only use that as a sales tool to try and make people buy things because they think they have to. I don't know.
That kind of puts me off more, because.
Yeah, I know.
Because I know it's not going to be any kind of major canon, because it won't be.
No, right? Because if it's major, it'd be in the films.
Exactly. So it makes it, if it's canon that I don't necessarily need to know.
No.
Right, and then it's kind of
unless you want bragging rights.
But then it's also really constrictive. We've said this before, by being tied into like a canon, then it's constrictive of what you can do. And why not just go with the Legends side of things and say, what, the games are all going to be Legends, and then that's fine. Then you can do whatever the hell you want. It doesn't have to tie into anything. That would be the better way to go.
I totally agree.
And I wish the comics were too.
Yeah. Well, talk about comics. I've read Poe Dameron.
Oh, yeah.
And I was getting a bit excited because I thought it was all going to be set after The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Well, I sort of, right. It was set after The Last Jedi, but it was Poe telling the story of how he escaped from the TIE fighter in The Force Awakens, and how he got back to. It was him telling a story, and then there's the second issue of that story is about, did you ever think to yourself in Force Awakens, how do I know so much about the Starkiller base? And I had that little hologram of it before Finn piped up and said, well, if you thought to yourself, how did they get that information? The second issue tells you how. Oh, because Snap Wesley goes on a little mission to scope out Starkiller base. So, and that's going to lead into another issue. So basically, they weren't lying when they said that it was set after Last Jedi, but it is literally them sat around the table telling stories.
Wow.
About the Force Awakens, of all, you know what I mean, of the least interesting things that you need to know. Yeah. What happened in the scenes that didn't happen in the film. And I was like, I don't want to know this.
I don't need to know. And also, right, in that case, I hope that Poe tells the story of what happened to Snap Wesley, because he's not in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, well, I think they've already said that they sent him on a mission. But again, I think we're going to find that out. I also listened to a good podcast with what's his face that plays him, and he said he was heading to London to start filming. So he's definitely in episode 9.
Okay. So he'll be back from his mission.
Yeah.
Is that just because he's JJ's mate?
Yeah.
He's not Ryan Johnson's mate.
He literally he grew up with JJ.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're best buddies. So is it that he's not Ryan Johnson's mate, so he's not in that one?
Nobody's Ryan Johnson's mate anymore.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm only in the ones with my mate because I get like a free job.
Well, I think that is a very valid point. But he's good as Snap Wesley anyway. I like him as that character.
I do as well. Yeah, but well.
So that's Poe Dameron. Anyway, it was nice art and stuff. It wasn't a bad read. It just I got all excited. And to be honest, there was some really nice sort of banter between Rey and Poe and Finn in that comic, Right, but it's just the actual meat of the story. So I'm guessing that once they finish telling stories around that table, it probably won't be set in that area anymore.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. I've started looking at some other comics, but
I was going to say it can't be as bad as the issues where Luke was reading the book or where Yoda got hit in the head with a rock.
God, no, they were bad. They were bad. What I am looking forward to reading is Lando Double or Nothing, which I've also downloaded, which has got Donald Glover likeness.
Right.
I've also got The Lost Stars Volume 1, which I really want to read. That looks very manga-ish.
Oh, they did the graphic novel of the book, right?
The book, yeah, and it's very manga style. That looks really good.
Ah, cool.
I've also bought a collected edition of Tag and Bing.
Oh yeah.
Downloaded that. I got that on a Comixology discount.
Are they the old stories?
Yeah. And I've also got some Dr. Aphra to read, and I've got some Star Wars to read, but I haven't had a chance, so I will.
Cool.
Hopefully over the next couple of weeks. Yay!
Yeah, that's it. You put yourself through it for us.
Yeah, I still ain't reading those books though.
You're not?
Well,
not
no,
even the new one?
Realized,
not the Beckett one?
No, I'm not going to read the Beckett one. I didn't even read the Jim one. I just realised there was a book about Jin I never read either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't be asked. I don't want to know about these characters. I saw everything I want to know in the film.
Yeah, it's true. There's not anything else you need to know. And that's the thing, you can end up knowing too much about them. We've talked about like having an air of mystery to them, and you take it away. Now Solo, I liked what they did, but they didn't need to do it. Yeah. If
they had a novel about Jimmy Scissor Punch, I would buy it. If I had a novel about Tam Posler, if I had a novel about Tam Posler, I'd buy it. But I don't want to know more about people that we saw a whole film about.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Those characters just are as you know them. Like as they appear when we are introduced to them, that's all you need to know. It's like if I meet someone, make a new friend. I don't know their backstory. I know them as they are, and then you get to know bits about them, but I'll never see them growing up, or you know what I mean.
Well, everyone I meet is a figment of my imagination anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Even me.
Yeah.
Right now,
who's
you're actually
podcasting
just talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, have you never noticed that when you play it back, you can't hear me?
Yeah, it's like first rule of Fight Club kind of thing going on.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
my Tyler Durden.
Yeah.
Go on, Colin. Talk about Star Wars.
Right. So, I mean, a bit more serious news. Yeah. So this one, we have to address it. Is the biggest bit of stuff that came out this week was Kelly Marie Tran getting harassed online and then ending up having to take down her social media because, I mean, she did endure months and months of racial abuse, people just like slagging her off, how she looks and everything. Do you know what I mean? And it really, these people, go along calling themselves Star Wars fans, and unfortunately it gives the rest of us a bad name because people start to see the way that they're acting. And if I think back, like I remember going to things, Star Wars. I went to a Star Wars celebration, the 30th anniversary one, and going somewhere full of Star Wars fans, it always felt like a real, like, kinship, like a family kind of thing, like you almost instantly were automatically friends because you were Star Wars fans. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you had this sort of this thing in common that you totally loved ever since you were kids, and now you've got these people being dicks. I mean, there's no reason to do that. The girl, I've said before, we both said it, I wasn't a fan of the Rose character. I didn't like her at all, but the actress was doing a job, and by all accounts she did it well. I mean, you see her crying and she acted her part that she was given. Whether or not I like the character or how they used her is a different thing, but she did her job well. And to then and of course all these people, they don't go into doing a movie and being like, oh, I hope this movie's crap. They want to do the best movie they can do, right? And when they put their time and effort into acting, they want to do as well as they can as well. I mean, that also gets them other jobs, so it's in their best interest to act as well as they can. And there's no reason you should attack someone personally afterwards. You know what I mean? And I mean, even on Rotten Tomatoes and places like that, I think Rotten Tomatoes have now deleted all the comments, but there was some really horrendous racist stuff on there. People were going into Wikipedia and changing her page to be racially abusive, and it's fucking disgusting. Those people were just scumbags. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They shouldn't, they shouldn't have the pleasure of being associated with the rest of us,
But now, are they Star Wars fans, or are they just people just being nasty? Because I get the feeling that, social media creates this opportunity for just the vile, horrible people to come out of the woodwork.
It does, and there are trolls all over the place. But then, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, the Star Wars fandom is a huge amount of people, So there are, of course, always people with different opinions and stuff like that. But but
it's not like Star Wars fans are the only ones that do this. I mean, it's like that editor that worked for Marvel, Heather Antos. She put that picture up of her having some milkshakes or something once, and from that day on, she got completely harassed. I mean, she ended up quitting her job, I think. In the end.
There are people all over there just dicks, But I mean, this is something that's happened. Attacking someone who's in the film because people didn't like that film. These are the people. I think the majority did like it, by the way. But I think that these are the people that didn't like it, and then they're like, because John Boyega got it as well. That it's been like, oh, I don't want a black guy in there. Daisy Ridley, I don't want a woman in there, and it's like, are you fucking crazy? Like, seriously, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, what, you just want the same film over and over again? Is that what you're looking for? And then you can. I mean,
I'm still having. I find it hard to believe that these are Star Wars fans, because if you grew up with Star Wars the way that we did, and it's one of those things that I think has really shaped my sort of moral centre as much as anything else that I've the upbringing you have with your family and that. Star Wars is one of the things it's the one thing that when I was a kid really put into me what's right and what's wrong and that.
No, I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree. And even back then, Princess Leia, she was like a strong female character, you know. But
I mean, admittedly, there wasn't really very good representation in Star Wars, I guess, in terms of.
don't forget as well, like, you know, these might not necessarily be people who've gone back 40 years. There's been fans coming over the years.
Probably the Clone Wars fans.
Yeah, probably, right. But, you know, I'm just saying that there's good and bad everywhere, right? And so
I blame the Rebels fans. It's probably them.
Probably. But there's going to be an element of people that are just dicks, straight up dicks, you know. Yeah. And they call themselves fans, but, you know, I think that the real fans, the ones that appreciate what these people do, and they're trying to make something that we all love, you know, they want to create something good for us. You know, we should disassociate from those people. And you know I just want to say that on our group, I'm really quite proud that we have really good conversations going on, debates. You know, people don't always agree, but it doesn't really get nasty, and I've not seen anyone get abusive to anyone else. You know, and you know if those like scumbags did end up coming in there, they just get removed straight away. There's no place for them there. And you know, I think more groups need to be like that. They need to start kicking these people out, not letting them be involved.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we just need to. The only thing I'm a little bit annoyed with just the way the media have portrayed this whole story, though, and it really is an attack at Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
And like I say, I don't really feel that this is, you know, like a Star Wars fan issue. This is an issue about the way that people communicate at this day and age.
Well, this does happen in general, but the reason that it's being portrayed that way is because this has happened to an actress from Star Wars. And I get that. You know.
But I think the best way to counteract this is just as Star Wars fans be as positive as possible.
Yeah.
And you know, and actually it reminds me, Simon Myers, who's an artist, British artist who works on Doctor Who comic covers and works on Star Wars Insider. He's been starting like a hashtag tweet, I am Star Wars fan, which is basically again like a reaction against the negativity.
Oh, right.
And he actually is going to come on a podcast next week, as long as everything goes to plan, as long as you don't have a baby. And he's going to come on and generally have a chat with us anyway, but about obviously his work. But also, I'm sure he's going to want to. He's got things to say about this as well, so it'd be interesting to see what he's got to say.
Definitely, it would be. But yeah, I mean, you know, I don't want to go too much into it, but the good things were that Mark Hamill put up something.
Yeah, I saw that
on Twitter. That was quite good. Put some photos, you know, complimenting her and her work. And Ryan Johnson also responded to someone who had said something shitty about her, and he really shot them down, which was quite good.
Good.
Unfortunately, Kathleen Kennedy hasn't come out and said anything. And as a president of Lucasfilm, she really should address it.
And especially since she likes to wear her Forces female T-shirt every now and again.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, and it would be good for her to come out and say something.
But this goes. I know you're going to talk about Kathy in a minute, but this goes down to strong leadership from the president of Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
And if my brand was being tarnished like this, I'd be saying something.
Definitely.
And this to me is just an example of Kathy being a little bit weak.
Well, yeah. So anyway, I don't want to go into it too much. You know, it's a really bad thing, and yeah. You know,
we all know it's bad, and
that,
we've got to try and do what we can to put a stop to it.
Yeah, and it's good that, you know, Star Wars Conversations, the guys and girls that are in there, you know, thank you to them all for being so damn awesome, because they really are. Then the next bit of news that I was going to really talk about was I've started to see this posted quite a lot. I mean, there's been a bit of talk about, you know, Kathleen Kennedy, should she step down, blah blah blah. But now there's a rumour going around, and it is only a rumour, that she's going to step down in around September time, and it started on something like Dork Side of the Force or something like that. And now I've started to see more and more people posting. So it's not actually a thing, but it's not. Yeah,
it's just absolute speculation. Isn't it?
It's a rumour that's been started.
And I'll tell you what, if Kathy was leaving, I'd be the first to know.
Well, you would definitely. She'd have told you by now.
She would have told.
But yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know. I said last week that it'll be after episode 9. I don't think she'll step down before then. because that's already in production. And I think if it did well, then I don't know. It's a bit weird at the moment because I'm just hearing a lot of this stuff, and
I think all this political and pressure and stuff like that, it makes people react badly. And I agree with you. I don't think she needs to step down. And I don't think she should be forced just because people are starting to talk about it. But the way that these big corporations and that react to bad press and negativity, it wouldn't surprise me if someone pushed her.
Yeah, I mean, if 9 comes out and it, does gangbusters, then she's going to probably be applauded.
I think she probably won't leave until they find a suitable replacement. So a black, lesbian, disabled immigrant would be the best person, really. So they need to find someone who's also a film producer and someone of her caliber that can do all of that and tick every box on the list. But
you better get scouting then.
Yeah. Zoinks.
So yeah. Anyway, that's those really the only things that I wanted to address this week. I thought that was probably the most important stuff that's happened was the Kelly Marie Tran stuff. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to talk about today, or do you think we're at the end of the show?
There was something that popped in my head.
There is.
Just then. Oh yeah, Celebration. Star Wars Celebration.
Oh yeah. You were just saying before the show.
Yeah, so obviously that's been released. It's Chicago. It's the 11th of April, 2019.
Tickets on sale for a week.
Tickets have been on sale for a week. The 5 days passes are all sold out. And like I say, it's 5 days, which is bloody scary. I mean, that's a lot of Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously there'll be almost a 2-year gap, so that's why.
A lot of good panels.
I'm thinking of going.
Yeah.
I'm very, very seriously today just decided actually I need to go to this. So I'm just trying to work out the details and the costs, and as long as I think I can afford it, I'll be booking it in the next couple of days, hopefully.
Awesome.
So,
that'd be cool, man.
So it will be cool. My first trip to the US.
Excellent. You'll have a great time.
Hoping to do a bit of a Taylor Network tour and go visit some of my Taylor Network friends in New York, as well as the wonderful Wendy in Chicago. I know Wendy's already got her tickets from Double Page Spreads. So.
Darryl at the library, doesn't he work at the library?
Yeah, I'll take a book out and make it late.
Just bring it back home.
Yeah. I'm sure Darryl will love that. I'm sure he can't wait for me to come over. I'm going to go and stay in his murder shed. Have you seen his murder shed?
No, I haven't seen his murder
shed. He puts his little live videos up on Facebook every now and again. You have to keep an eye out for it. Anyway, yeah. So to be honest, I'm actually got really excited all of a sudden. I need to calm down because I haven't even thought about if I can afford it or not yet. But obviously, but I'm really excited. So I want to go. It's going to be good.
Actually, I saw some cheap deals to New York today.
Yeah, well, I've been looking. Well, so not when I was at work. So yeah. So anyone else who's going to Star Wars Celebration, drop us a line. Let us know.
Yeah, maybe Colin can hook up with you. I don't think I'll be able to go.
No, I don't think you'll be able to go. But it'd be nice if you could.
I'd love it, man. I'd love to go. I love it in the States, so anytime I can go there, I'm itching to go there. Mm-hmm. Right, so anyway, I think that's it for today then, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. It's quite late, I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, so, you got to get up early.
And guess what? I've got to do the second coat of that room tomorrow, so I've got
to start painting. No, you still haven't painted it?
Not while I'm working.
Yeah, not while you're working.
So,
well, tomorrow's Saturday.
Yes, tomorrow's Saturday.
Yeah.
Right, anyway, so where can you find us? We are available on Facebook, which is where the group originated, which is Star Wars Conversations. You can find us on Twitter at Star Wars Convo or hashtag Star Wars Convo. Colin is on Twitter at...
where am I? Captain Colin.
Yeah, Captain Colin. I am 1933 Eagles. as Colin just said, hashtag Star Wars Convo or just Star Wars Convo on Instagram. We're also on SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes. You're going to ditch one of the podcasts, right?
I'm thinking about move. Those of you that are listening to our direct feed, it might be hosted somewhere else soon. But we will give plenty of notice and tell everyone.
Yeah, there you go. So just be aware of that.
Yeah.
And we're also on the Taylor Network podcast, which we just talked about. But tell them a little bit more about it, Colin.
Well, it's a brilliant. It's a website. It's a Facebook page. It's most importantly a podcast feed, which puts together a load of podcasts from all loads of different cool people that do things like Go Trek Yourself and Nothing's on TV podcast and Double Page Spread, which is brilliant comics podcast, comic interviews. There's so many good ones. The TARDIS, which is all about Doctor Who, and that's brilliant. There's many great.
That's the best one after this, isn't it?
Yeah, after this one. Yeah, it's the best one after this one. So basically, again, it's all on iTunes, all the same places. So you can subscribe to that one feed and get all the podcasts. So just do that.
Awesome. Also, I'd like to say thank you to people who have left us some comments recently. I've noticed we've had a few more comments coming in.
Yeah, we need to mention something, don't we?
We do need to mention something.
Can you remember them?
Huh?
Can you remember who we got mentioned?
No.
Oh, God. Let me look.
Did you tell me?
There were... Well, I thought you'd actually read them.
No.
You're supposed to be an organised one.
Yeah, I'm really unorganised today.
First of all, Richie, he left some really good feedback on Instagram.
Thanks, Richie.
Richie, me old mate Richie. Frank, he said some nice things, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Who else said nice things?
Oh, and also, Frank, we haven't forgotten about your questions.
Just do it now.
No, because I've got to go and get them, and I don't know where they are. So that'll be next week. Next week, definitely next week.
Maybe next week. So so obviously we want people to write in, and we definitely will answer your questions.
You know what? I'll have to make a file for them because I keep saving it and then losing it. So I'll do one and I'll share it with you so we've got them.
You're rubbish. Anyway, there were some nice comments, so thank you everyone.
Yeah, so thank you all very much. And
and we hit a bit of a milestone, didn't we?
Oh yeah. Tell them about it.
Well, I don't know if I should because I don't know if it's a good thing or not. Is it a good thing?
I think it's good for us.
It's good for us. We've had the most listeners ever download this podcast.
Yeah.
Recently, so we hit a big number. So we're very, very pleased and thankful. So all those new listeners, this is another brilliant example.
Are you not saying what the number is?
No, just in case it's a rubbish number and everyone goes, no, that's actually rubbish.
It's good for us though, dude.
It's good for us, massively good for us, but I don't want to make it sound like we've been rubbish all this time.
We kind of have.
But as I said, I want to say thank you to all the new listeners, but really more importantly, all the listeners that have stuck with us. So thank you,
Definitely,
guys.
thank you for sticking with us. Because when we talk shit like this, it must be boring. But
or at least questioning why you're listening. But,
definitely questioning why you're listening. I question
it. Yeah. I question why I listen to it another 2 times when it comes out on the 2 feeds.
Oh, you're all the likes and stuff. Right?
Yeah, it's me. Yeah. It's me. That's why the downloads are so good. So I've just seen it. Actually, it's free downloads an episode. Yay!
Okay. Anyway, that will do it for us this week. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time,
punch it, Chewie.
May the force be with you.